This is Annapolis, and these are the midshipmen who make up the brigade of the United States Naval Academy. These are their stories, full of their laughter, their heartache, their tragedies and triumphs. The stories of the men of Annapolis. This is Strom Ehrlich. Mr. Ehrlich is the Naval Academy's new squash coach. And this is Midshipman Ken Langley. These two men do not know each other now, but they are destined to know each other soon. For Strom Ehrlich is a man with a dream, and Ken Langley is part of that dream. Let me tell you a little about Strom. He was once on the threshold of greatness, the master of one of sport's most demanding games. Strom Ehrlich is well remembered by the handful of men who are or have been the world's champion players of squash rackets. For Strom was very close to beating them all. A common ordinary blister, such as we all know, shattered Strom Ehrlich's chance to be the world champion. In the first game of Strom's most important match, the telltale scarlet streaks of blood poisoning first appeared, moving up his leg from that blister. The pain had become almost unbearable by the fourth game. Strom was ahead in the fifth and final game of that match when he collapsed on the court. From being very close to becoming world champion, Strom Ehrlich came just as close to death. But he lived to become what he is now, a man with a dream.
Navy has always produced a good team in squash rackets. But this year, I think we can have the finest. Because of you, and because I feel I can teach this game better than any man alive. And I'll teach it to you. Now let me tell you something about myself. There is one thing I absolutely insist upon. If at any time any one of you has anything wrong with him physically, you will report it to me and you will not come into a squash court. Is that clear?
How's the great search coming? I see you're still watching some of my boys. Did you find anybody?
I think so. Langley. Ken Langley. I want to make a squash player out of him. He's got everything I need. Beautiful coordination, beautiful reflexes, and I think the courage a champion has to have.
Well, he's got that all right, or he wouldn't keep on competing with those beanpoles for a place on the varsity. He'll make a pretty good ball player.
Pretty good. Fitz, let me have him, and with his potential, I can make him great. With Ken Langley, Navy can have an intercollegiate champion, a national champion. Maybe even a world champion.
Well, you're welcome to him. This season's squad is practically set. I think you're going to have a little trouble. He loves basketball. So I don't think you'll get him interested.
Just leave that to me. Fitz, I can make him the kind of player that I always wanted to be.
Hey, what's going on around here? What gives with that coach of yours?
What coach?
That game you play, what's it called? Squash? Squish?
The name is Squash Rackets Bowl. And hey, don't let me hear any man who goes around dribbling basketballs run it down, either.
Okay, okay. Oh, boy. This squish is supposed to be the world's roughest game. I just had an hour-long lecture on it.
From Mr. Ehrlich?
Yeah. This guy walks out on the court while I'm trying to practice basketball, and he says, Mr. Langley, why don't you quit trying to be a basketball player and come out for squash instead?
So he thinks you'd make a good player.
Well, so what? I don't want to play squash. I tell him that, but he keeps coming back.
Look, what are your chances of making varsity basketball?
None, probably. But what's that got to do with the price of eggs? Look, I'm just not interested in squash. I want to go out for the sports I like.
Coach Ehrlich thinks he could make something out of you. Maybe intercollegiate champion. Maybe world champion. Maybe even beat me.
Well. And what do I tell my friends? Especially the feminine kind. When the word gets out that I'm the world's champion squash player?
Hey, have you ever seen a game of squash?
No, but I've seen guys chasing butterflies with nets. Same thing, isn't it?
No, not quite. Why don't you find out something about it before you knock it down?
Look, Johnny boy, I'm not interested in playing squash. So lay off. And get that coach of yours to lay off too. Okay?
You know what this is?
Take a guess.
It's not a butterfly net.
John's been talking out of turn, Coach. Well, honest, I'm not trying to make fun of squash players or anything, but I don't think I'd like the game.
You think it's a game for sissies, don't you?
Oh, no, Coach, nothing like that. It's just, well, chasing a little ball around a room just does not appeal to me.
You like the contact sports, don't you? You think it's real competitive to bang into people and knock them down.
Or get knocked down?
But doesn't the game itself mean anything to you? The skill, the perfection of an art, the fight to win?
Well, sure. That's the idea of any sport, Coach.
I haven't been able to play squash actively in some time. But I would like to play one more game with you. Will you do me that favor?
I don't know one end of the squash court from another. What fun will you have?
I'll have fun. Tonight?
Tonight will be fine. And tomorrow I can go on playing basketball?
After tonight, you may not want to.
The main thing is keep that ball out of his reach.
Be funny if I beat him, wouldn't it?
You might do it. Squash is a demanding game, and you're a lot younger than he is. By golly, you gotta be in pretty good condition to stay with it. You might wear him down enough to beat him.
I'm gonna try. Wait a minute. Where are you guys going?
To see the slaughter. Where else?
No, you don't. This is strictly private.
Come on, Ken. We want to see the battle.
No soap. This is between Ehrlich and me. I'll be back in 15 minutes, gentlemen. My squash career ended.
What happens now?
I think the coach will cut him to ribbons.
If I know our boy Ken, he's not going to like that.
That's what Coach Ehrlich wants. Come on.
You can't go quick. I like that stroke down the wall.
Nothing to it, Coach. Anybody can bounce a ball off the wall.
Ready to try a game?
Why not? What's that for?
A little handicap. All right, call it. Rough or smooth?
Rough.
My serve. Ready, Langley?
Ready, Coach.
What's the coach trying to do? Make a fool of him?
Trying to just say. Ken hasn't even come close to returning a serve.
Why, he'd do better without a racket. In fact, he'd do better if he got out of here while he's still in one piece.
Love and game.
You want to play another one?
Oh, no, thanks.
Oh, I guess I didn't make it interesting enough for you.
Oh, it was very interesting. Good night.
Thanks.
How'd it go, Ken?
He beat me.
Badly?
Yeah, very badly. John, I think I need some lessons. How about it?
Okay.
But one thing, Ehrlich mustn't know a thing about it.
By golly, you did look pretty good tonight, Ken.
Well, what do you think, John? Can I take him?
No.
I can take you. How good do I have to get?
A lot better than you are now.
Been practicing more than a month. How much longer?
Have you forgotten Ehrlich has been world champion?
Oh, that's ancient history. He's not a kid anymore, John.
Maybe not. But he can still beat you playing squash.
You think so?
Yeah, I know so.
Well, you be in the gallery the next time I play him.
All right.
Can he do it?
I don't think so. He won his serve, though.
Here we go.
Well played. 13-9. Ready? Serve.
Ken's getting 13-9.
He's gonna win it, John.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, too bad. 10-13.
Serve, please.
This is more than a game.
This is it.
If you have no objections, sir, I'll be back.
Coach, it's only a sniffle. It's going away. It's a lot better than it was yesterday.
Get off the court, John. Go take off your clothes and report to sick bay.
What about tomorrow, Coach?
You're not playing in any match tomorrow.
Hey, Coach. Look, I'm all right. I'll be absolutely well for that match tomorrow.
You're not playing tomorrow.
Well, even if I get an excuse from the doc, Coach, you may need me tomorrow. That team from Harvard won the intercollegiates last year.
Look, John, once I thought that squash was more than a game. That almost cost me my life. It is a game, John. Don't ever forget that. Just a game.
Look, I'll be all right tomorrow.
You forget about tomorrow. I'll see you Monday.
Wait a minute. Who are you going to put in my place, then?
Duclos or Swenton?
How about Ken Langley?
Ken? Will he play?
I don't know. Let me ask him.
No, I'll ask him myself. Maybe tonight after our match.
If he wins?
He hasn't beaten me yet, but he will soon. Very soon.
Yeah, that's a real beauty. Where'd you get it?
England, John. Feels good.
You want to try it out against Harvard tomorrow? I sniffed a couple of times and the coach benched me. You can take my place if you want to.
Tell Ehrlich no thanks.
Why don't you tell him yourself? You're playing him tonight.
Maybe I will.
That's game for me. You want another?
No. Thanks.
Ken. Never mind. I was going to ask you something, but I I've changed my mind.
Sorry about Harvard, Coach. That was a tough one to lose.
You could have beaten the man who took too close for the match.
Yeah. And you know Ken could have, too.
John, is there any real interest in the game in him anywhere? He's playing squash now only to beat me. And he's going to do that soon. Then what happens?
Well, I don't know, but he sent all the way to England for a racket.
He could be the greatest squash player in the world, John. He's cold and controlled. He has what a champion must have, the ruthlessness, the cold-blooded will to win. Very few men have it.
Look at this. Ames beat Brownell in straight games to win the Ivy League championship.
Yeah?
Now, who's this guy Ames, anyway?
Coach says he's probably the best squash player in America.
Oh, yeah? Well, I guess you'll get a chance to play the great Ames, huh, John?
Yeah, it sure looks like it. Oh, by the way, how are you and Early getting along?
I don't know, John. At first, he could just play a better game than I could. Now, though, I can play better squash than he can, only I can't beat him.
I don't get it.
Yeah, if you can play better, why can't you beat him?
I'm not sure I know what the word indomitable means. But that's what Ehrlich is. Indomitable. No matter how much you put out, he's got just that much more. Boy, I bet he could take that Ames with his knees tied together. That's the way he took me once.
Why don't you take on Ames?
I'd love to. You ever played a serious match with a coach?
No, he doesn't play against the peons.
Well, you ought to try it sometime, John. He's all over the court. All over you. Everywhere. He doesn't just play for points, he plays to win. So every point's a battle. Man, playing a guy like Ames after that would just seem ordinary. Well, I'm off to the slaughter.
You're playing him again tonight, huh?
Go on to gallery?
I don't care now.
I think Mr. Ehrlich is out on his feet, John.
I know he is.
Maybe we ought to have him call it quits, huh?
No, leave him alone, dude.
Too bad, Coach. You just nicked the telltale.
Serve. You beat me. You won.
I really won, didn't I?
Congratulations. That makes you the second man who has ever beaten me. I'm proud of you. Ken, where are you going?
To a basketball game.
Okay, here we go. You've got just 3 days before the Eastern Intercollegiates. As you know, our season so far has been only pretty fair. Against some of the teams we played, we had bad breaks. Against the others, we ran into some pretty tough opponents. In the Eastern Intercollegiate, you're going to run into those same men all over again. As for the breaks, we can't control them. But there is one thing each of you can do. Besides concentrated practice, I want you to build up a full head of steam against the men you're going to play. I want you to come out on that court as sore as a scalded tiger and just as fierce. Now, to stand a chance for the individual honors, it looks to me like you, Johnny, are going to have the toughest job of all. You'll probably be the one who'll have to play Ames in the finals.
Excuse me, sir. I think you're being a little optimistic about me. Because there's one man that's going to beat me before I get to Ames.
Who's that?
Ken.
Ken? Will he play?
Yep. If you say the word.
Then we're on our way.
Ken, you made it. You're playing Ames in the finals. The official just announced it. Oh, no.
Such a fuss. So I raised a little blister in my last match, but it's been poked, sterilized, and bandaged, and it's all right.
What I said goes. You don't play, finals or no finals.
But, Coach, it doesn't even hurt. It won't
Go
slow-
notify the officials.
Aye, aye, sir.
Ken, is there any way to make him change his mind?
There's no way, John. He wouldn't let me play if the whole Bureau of Medicine and Surgery said I was the healthiest specimen he'd ever seen.
Yeah, you're so right. There's no way to make him change his mind. Listen, I think there is a way to get you on that court boat.
If I walked out of that court, Ehrlich could have the show patrol throw me out.
You want to beat Ames, don't you?
You know I do, John, but this sounds like one of those deep trouble deals, and I won't buy it.
Yes, you will. Listen, let me go to the officials and tell them that you want to play. And the doc says you're okay.
Thanks, Johnny. I'm not buying it. I won't go against the coach's orders for anything.
Sorry, son, but he just can't forget that a blister almost killed him once. Seeing you win the finals would have been the fulfillment of a lifelong dream. But he's tied and bound by a decision he made many years ago.
Tied? Excuse me, sir. Sir, before I notify the officials, may I ask you one thing? Do you remember the first squash game we played? Do you remember how you played it? The handicap you gave me?
Well, what about it?
I want that rope. Please, Coach. I want to beat Ames so bad I'll do it with my legs tied.
Do you think I'm ordering you not to play because of some stupid whim? I want you to play Ames. I know you can beat him. But I will not let you risk your future on this one match.
But Coach Doc Brown says my foot is all right.
Suppose it's not. I can't send you out there and put you through what I've been through. Do you want to wind up what could be a brilliant naval career by becoming a man like me? A nothing? A man who could have been? Ken, this is only a game.
No, sir. It's more than just a game to me. Because by your training, you've given me the will to win. The desire to be the very best. And now that I have that chance to prove that everything you've taught me is true, you won't allow me to take it. You call yourself nothing? Sir, I'd be proud to be a man like you. In all the matches that we've had together, you've taught me the meaning of one word. Indomitable. Don't you see, Coach? We both have something to prove today. That you have never really been defeated. And in all the years to come, because of what I've learned from you and others at the Academy, I can never really be defeated either. So please, Coach, I beg you, let me have that rope.
I threw that rope away a long time ago. Well, I guess I was right. You do have what it takes to make a champion. You'd do anything to win a match, wouldn't you?
Who? Me? All I want to do is play a little squish.
This is Annapolis, the United States Naval Academy, proud of its dignity, its history, its traditions, but most of all, proud of its men. Next week, we will bring you another story of the men of Annapolis. Ehrlich was played by Richard Eastham. Ken Langley by Tommy Morton. John Long was played by Mason Allen Dinehart.